When he comes to you, questions on your garden, he will answer true. Control your pest, compost properly to heal your soil and make your life too. So don't panic. Oh, it's organic. No chemicals to make the earth sick. Oh, don't panic. Oh, it's organic. The way that nature intended it.
This is nice.
It buys you
All
your
soil
ticks,
blended in
and
here.
fleas, help to diagnose what's wrong with your roses or trees.
Hi. This is the start of the vegetable garden. Last year I came here and we built these raised beds. And now we're in the process of putting stuff in it. You know, all different things have to go in it. So if you come over here, I'll show you, take a closer look at the raised bed, and I'll tell you what we put in it so far. Okay, so here we have a raised bed. Now this wood here is untreated wood. What we did with it initially was actually we treated with a citrus, and I have the citrus here. I can show you what this is the citrus that you want to treat your raised bed with. The citrus, it's just it's a pure clean citrus product, doesn't have petroleum distillates in it. And the way you treat the wood is you basically paint it on. After a while, it's just like this. It weathers, and you don't really see you don't see this. But I'm just showing it to you now because this soaks right into the wood, see? And it protects the wood from carpenter ants, termites, and makes the wood last forever. And that'll eventually dry. This will dry, and it'll be just like the rest of it is, because this was done about almost 2 years ago. We put the raised bed together. So that's one thing you do with a raised bed. Never use pressure-treated wood. Then the other thing we did was underneath here we have a wire mesh for gophers. We have 2 wires. We overlaid them 1/4 inch wire, chicken wire, 1/4 inch thicker wire overlaid on top of each other. That was laid down here for gophers, so gophers don't come up in here. And the bed is also, not your normal bed, because if you look, you see it's twice as big. This is the normal size of a bed right here. This little section here, but we made it twice as big. And this was made for a guy just like me, a tall guy, so he can reach into the center. If it was, you were a short person, you would have to dive in to get to the front. So normally the bed could be made a little shorter. So this bed is a little bit bigger because it's like I can reach into the center, but most people can't. So the bed's made a little shorter, not so big. Maybe half the size here for an average person, but this is really a very nice bed. We use it all the time. Right now it's in the process of taking a little rest. We rotate the soil. We have all kinds of compost we add to in here. We add a couple of different types of rock dust to it. We don't have to have perlite or vermiculite, but what we do is we add potting soil, organic potting soil to it, because it's basically a one big container. And if you look over there, you see there's a drip system that's hooked into it. It runs right underneath here. It'll water this. Actually, it's a soaker system. It waters below ground. And this is just starting. This bed here we'll make it so it comes almost to the top. So this stuff here is just cooking now, because we put the bottom layer down, and then the top layer we're going to add some more not so rich compost, because you don't want the bed to be so rich you can't plant anything and it'll burn it. But it will be a mixture of potting soil. I like to add like a saline mix, which is a really nice acid. You want this to be a slightly acid mixture. So if you add too much compost, it ends up being too alkaline. And you want it to come up to about here. We're going to do that in one of our next shows. And then this top layer will be some type of mulch. I like to use a saline mix, which is a really nice, clean acid for acid plants. We put that on top as the last mulch. And then we go back and we plant. There's 2 beds here, and you do at least 2 beds because you want to have one bed resting and one bed growing. This person here decides he wants to have them both growing at the same time, so that means they both have to rest at the same time. But if you rotate it, and I keep telling him he's just lazy because he has so much to do here. But normally what you do is, in that bed over there, I would grow peanuts. I would grow sunflowers. Anything else, see, and let that grow that way. It's like a green manure. And then I would use my garden here. And then what I would do is rotate. I would grow the peanuts over here. Next, essentially, you have to take everything out, or you rototill it, or you turn it back into the ground over there. Let it decompose so that it's green manure, all the green food goes back in it. It takes about 2 or 3 months for that to happen. In the interim, you're using stuff here. And then when you're ready, you can switch. I have to admit, it's a lot of work. If I was to do both of these, I have them going all the time. And with these raised beds, you do practice what's called soil rotation. But one of the things as I get older, I don't like to do any more work than I have to. So instead of doing soil rotation or even crop rotation, if you have the several different beds, crop rotation is good. Basically, crop rotation means that instead of growing tomatoes in the same box every year after year, you grow tomatoes over there, you come back over here, and then grow tomatoes over here, you go back and forth from tomatoes in a different bed. Okay, and the same thing, instead of growing corn in the same box year after year after year, you grow corn over there, you grow corn over here, you go back and forth. After a while, you are going to eventually, and you always have to continue that. If you do it that way, you have to continue to add compost and mulch to this thing because everything gets used up. If you don't, then you have to take a break. You have to take everything out, redo it again. It lasts a few years because the soiled food disappears. As I get older, I've developed some interesting ways of doing this. One of the things you do is you bury worms, earthworms. You do a lot of earthworms here. Then you don't have to rotate the soil. The earthworms, which says multiply, will grow. And that's when the process we're doing here. We're going to be installing some earthworms. They're called African red wigglers. Just buy 100 worms, and they will just multiply like crazy. Just have to make sure they got plenty of drainage, since you're not using any chemicals. One of the things we add to this is coffee grinds. Lots of coffee grinds is going to be added to it. Coffee grinds is your easiest way to control slugs and snails. Just simple coffee grinds. And so we're going to, next few months, you're going to see me coming back here. We're going to be getting this garden in shape, and it'll be producing. We're going to videotape all the way through it from beginning to end. And this is a continuing process because this is something you want to do all the time. You know, the person here basically, he has kind of screwed up a little bit. He went and bought a packet of lettuce seeds, and he dumped the whole thing, and all of a sudden he had all these lettuce growing at the same time, and that's not what you want to do. We're going to show you those things. Normally you do about 10 lettuces every 2 weeks. You know, you start them every 2 weeks. Now we have continued source. So we're going to work on this during the next few months, and then let's go take a look at the rest of the garden. And before we do that, then we're going to go and do my Mad Scientist segment. We're going to mix something together, and I'm going to show you how to mix my 3 favorite things together. We're going to be mixing the orange TKO citrus with this hot chili sesame oil, and then this is a natural soap. I can't really show you the label. We should have had it covered, so I'm just going to show you the back of it. Or maybe like this. See, it's a natural soap, okay? We're going to mix these 3. Any type of natural soap will work. Any type of natural citrus product will work. And of course, any type of natural hot, chili. That's the whole planet.
It will please, so don't panic. It's organic. No chemicals to make the earth sick. Don't panic. It's organic. The way that nature intended it. So put advice to help your plants. Why not give them this way a chance? You mainly control all pesky elements. He'll even teach you how to dance with them, so don't panic. It's organic. No chemicals to make the earth sick. Don't panic. It's organic. The way that nature intended it.